Brazil's new president has formally taken office. Jair Bolsonaro is a former soldier and he was sworn in today. Described by some as a far-right candidate, he rose to power on an anti-corruption and pro-gun agenda, something similar to the strategy we saw from President Trump. Now, Sam Cowie covers Brazilian politics and he joins us now from Sao Paulo. So, Sam, there's been plenty of drama around his election. He was even stabbed during the election process. Remind us about how all of this unfolded.
Yeah, so it was a very polarized campaign. You had Bolsonaro saying things like that he was going to cleanse the country of left-wing outlaws. It would be a cleansing like Brazil had never seen. Of course, he was the victim of a failed assassination attempt by a deranged man while at a campaign rally. After that, that kept him out of the debates because he was in hospital. So it was a very, very dramatic campaign, lots of accusations of fake news flying around. You know, you had everyone in Brazil basically uses WhatsApp, and you had like WhatsApp accounts basically being flooded with fake news, mainly attacking Bolsonaro's opponents, especially his center-left opponent, Fernando Haddad. You know, he's a career congressman, former army captain. Until recently, he was mainly known as a fringe politician, basically known for making disparaging comments about gay people and women. But he swept to victory in a fallout of political crisis, economic crisis, and corruption scandals that basically embroiled all of the major parties in Brazil, on the left and in the right, were caught up in these corruption scandals. And, you know, in the vacuum that was left with this anti-establishment feeling, Bolsonaro swept to victory, basically. But a very divisive politician, and he'll most likely be an extremely divisive president too. And Brazil is an extremely polarized place right now, and that polarization looks certainly set to continue.
We're taking a look at a shot that's taking place this hour of the new Brazilian president getting sworn in, all the ceremonies and dignitaries there. But Sam, you touched on this issue of the polarization, how fractured things are, and it sounds incredibly similar to the situation in the United States. It's reported that Bolsonaro is a fan of President Trump. Does the admiration go both ways?
It's hard to say because we've never seen Trump talking about Bolsonaro. We know that Steve Bannon met with Bolsonaro's son, Eduardo, who's also a congressman. He met with him in New York, and then in an interview to The Guardian a few months later, he couldn't even remember Bolsonaro's name. He just described him as the paratrooper guy from Brazil. So whether that's an affection that really goes both ways, you know, we don't really know that, basically. But we do know, it's just been announced right now, that Ernesto Araújo, who is the foreign minister for Brazil, might meet with Mike Pompeo tomorrow morning in Brasilia. Mike Pompeo was was head of the delegation sent to Brasilia for the inauguration today. So while that respect and admiration might not be so mutual at the moment, it could certainly grow in coming years.
Well, Sam, let me just let you know that Donald Trump tweeted a short while ago congratulating President Bolsonaro, saying he's just made a great inauguration speech. The USA is with you. So that certainly gives us an indication of how things might move forward between the two countries. Sam Cowie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sam Cowie joining us from Sao Paulo, Brazil.